Hi, it's Darren Bernard of Poor Boys Crafts coming back to you again. Remember, if you like my videos, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. It's the way I can get out there and be known to everybody and hopefully get them numbers up. Last video, we made some wooden doors for our dungeon. So today we're going to make some stone doors. We'll make it pretty much all out of foam board with some wooden bottoms. So this is pretty much all you need. Besides, we'll get some popsicle sticks and we'll use them for the frames. But besides that, that's pretty much all we're going to need. So we'll start off with the foam board. Remember in D&D, you're going to want to measure out to 1 inch. So since we're using scrap paper or scrap board, we're going to want to square off this bottom here. So we're going to square that off real quick. Then we'll start our measurements. There we go. Make sure you start with a good square piece here. So remember, most doors, especially just little doors, will be 1 3/4 inch. So come up 1 3/4 inch off the bottom. We'll go ahead and go all the way across here. 1 3/4. Come across. Then we'll just cut that down. Remember, kids, these things are sharp, so make sure you have your parents' help on that. We'll set that aside for right now. That'll be our height. So now we've got to get a measurement of our width. A door will be on the 1 inch side, so we'll come across 1 inch, make a couple of marks. Then come down, line up the marks, come straight down. It'll look something like that. Cut that down. This little piece we're going to throw back over in our scrap pile. And this is going to be our basic door. We're going to make a couple of doors today. This will be our first one. But we'll want to peel off all that black off of the door. All that black backing off of there. On both sides. A little tricky sometimes because sometimes it likes to stick. Throw all that away. Always keep a trash can handy. Got one right over there out of screen there. That'll be our first door. We're going to set that aside and we're going to go ahead and cut out the second door. Now the second door is going to be a double door. So we're going to mark off the width of it first. First again, we're going to find our square edge. And on this piece, we don't really have a square edge, so we're going to have to square that edge up. We know we got a square bottom, so we're going to use that bottom edge, and we're going to go up 2 1/4 inches. 2 1/4 inches. Go ahead and mark that off. That's going to be our height. I'm going to cut that off. Now we know this edge is square and this edge is square. These are not. So we're going to mark 2 inches on the inside of our block. So we'll mark here and then at 1 inch, at the very end of 1 inch, and then mark at 2 inches. Then go up, doing the same thing, keeping our ruler right on the mark of the 1 inch. That way, it's still in the same place. Then you'll have 4 marks on your square there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that way, that's where we're going to run our lines at all the way through. Then we'll cut along them lines. And now we have squared corners. This ain't quite a square because it's only 2 inches this way, but it's a 2¼ or 2¼ inches high. So this is our height and this is our length. Now we're going to go ahead and pull the black paper off of both sides of this one as well. Throw all of our scrap away. And then we're going to measure out to the middle of the foam board, which should be at 1 inch. Go up, measure again, 1 inch. Then we're going to bear down hard. Now we're not going to cut, we're just making a inch in that. Now this is our double door, so that's where the doors are coming together. We're not going to cut that, we just want that just like that. We'll go on the back side and do the same thing. Measure out 1 inch. Same way. Do the same thing. That way we got the one on one side and then one on the other. Now if you look at the top, that should just about line up, just like that. Same way on the bottom. Should line up pretty good. If it's a little bit off, don't worry about it. Like I said, these are your crafts, so it should not work. Should not worry. A little bit more of that black off of there. There we go. Okay. Now then we're the basics. Now on this larger door, I'm going to kind of make it curved around, sort of like an archway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to freehand coming around, just taking a little bit off. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side to make it look like that. See how that looks like there? And then I'm going to take my knife and then I'm going to cut that out. That'll make the doors, give them a little bit of an arch. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it look just any way you want it to look. Look at that. Okay, now we're going to make them look like stone. With that, you need your aluminum foil ball. Take it, place it down on the foam board, and then roll it around. Give it a lot of texture. Now, the deeper you push and the harder you push, the more texture you have. But you don't want to push too hard because you don't want to flatten it out. Turn it over. Do the same thing. And it'll look like that. If you can see the texture on them. Do the same thing to the little door. And there you have it. There's the basic doors. Now, we're going to glue them to the bases. First of all, the little door, you'll need a 1 inch by 1 inch square base. That's for the little door. Take a little bit of hot glue, put it on the bottom of your door, place it in the center of your base. Hold it for a few seconds till it starts gluing itself. Set it aside, let it dry. Go ahead and start with this double door. Do the same thing. Place it on there. Let her dry. Now on the little door, we're going to go ahead and put a frame around it. So we'll need a popsicle stick, little cutters, flat on there. We'll get a measurement here. Line it up with the very top of it. get a mark. Make sure the mark is right. Remember, measure twice, cut once. Now, we'll glue. Add a little bit of glue on there. Add the edge on. Turn it over. Place the other popsicle stick on. Measure it. Make sure it's correct. Good. Clip it off. A little bit of glue. Add it on. Let it dry. Now if it goes up a little bit, you can always just clip off just a bit to get it level. Grab us another piece of a popsicle stick. Put it on there. Measure. Make sure the measurement's right. Yes, it is. Yep. Then we'll glue the whole top. Place the top on. And then let it dry. And then there's a frame around that door. Okay. Next, we're going to start painting them. Grab out our trusty little tub here. Get out some black paint. Remember, we are dealing with foam board, so we are going to have to paint black first. That gives us a covering. So pick out a decent brush. There's me a good brush, a little medium-sized brush, and that'll give a good paint and get down in the crevices and everything. Then we'll be able to paint them all really good. Okay? Okay, we got them all painted now with the black coat, and we got them dry pretty much. So we're ready to start with the final coat. Again, I like to use Granite Gray, 50 cents a bottle, real cheap. It's Apple Barrel, really good paint there. We're gonna got some poured here on my thing here. Got a clean brush, and I'll start painting here, and then we'll get them all painted, and then we'll be done. Okay, we painted them gray, and they've dried pretty much. You'll notice the paint on the foam board is a little darker than what's on the wooden board because the paint soaked into the black and called it a darker color granite. But that's okay. Anything's perfect. Whatever your craft is, it's whatever works for you. Last thing we got to do is attach our little door handles. Little pieces of round metal. Get them at Walmart for like 97 cents for a whole bag of them. They're back in the aisle with all the sewing stuff. Yeah, sewing stuff. My wife's back there trying to help me tell where they're at. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it. But anyway, you put a little bit of glue on here. Just attach that to one side or the other. Doesn't really matter which side, whatever side you decide works for you. Let that dry a bit. Take all the strings off of it. Then on this one, you're going to put 2 of them, one on either side of the line that you made in the middle. A little bit of glue. There we go. One there. We'll stand her up. Grab a hold of the next one. A little bit more glue. Keep her standing up. Oh, first one fell off. I didn't put enough glue on it. Okay, we'll clean that back off. Reattach it. Enough glue on there now, by George. Might have to clean some of that glue off of there. Stick it on there. Let her set up a bit. Clean some of that glue off there. There we go. Let that dry on there. And you got 2 concrete doors or stone doors. And there you go. Now let's go ahead and place them in our dungeon that we're making. We'll place the one door right at our entrance to our dungeon. And then we'll place the other one right here to the main room. There we go. And just remember, like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see. This is Darrin Bernard, Poor Boys Crafts, signing off.